The sky above Earth was clear and blue, with no sign of what was about to happen. In cities around the world, people went about their normal routines, unaware that their peaceful lives were about to be shattered. Far beyond Earth's atmosphere, a massive alien fleet hovered in space, preparing for invasion. These invaders were from a powerful empire that had conquered many planets across the galaxy. They believed Earth was just another target, easy to take over. The alien commanders looked down at the planet with cold eyes, confident in their victory before the battle even began. On Earth, alarms started blaring in the major cities. People looked up, confused, as they saw strange, dark shapes appearing in the sky. These were the alien ships, massive in size, and moving swiftly toward the ground. Fear spread quickly as news stations began reporting the invasion. In a military base buried deep underground, General Harris stood in front of a large screen, watching the alien fleet. His face was calm, but his mind was working fast. He had prepared for this day, though many had doubted such an invasion would ever happen. Still, Harris and a few others knew the truth. Earth was not defenseless. The alien invaders underestimated humanity, thinking they could crush them easily. But Earth had a secret. Hidden away, deep in the oceans and beneath mountains, was a fleet of powerful warships unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. These ships had been built in secret, designed for one purpose: to defend Earth from a threat like this. As alien ships descended on Earth's cities, they began their attack. Explosions rocked the ground, and buildings were torn apart by the alien weapons. The invaders showed no mercy, firing on anything that moved. Panic spread through the streets, and people ran for cover. It seemed like the end of the world. The alien commander, sitting aboard the flagship, watched with satisfaction as his forces overwhelmed Earth's defenses. Weak, he muttered to himself. He had studied humanity, and from what he saw, they were no match for the Empire's technology. Their small, outdated weapons and ships stood no chance. But as the alien forces pushed deeper into Earth's territory, something unexpected happened. The human military began to fall back, not because they were defeated, but because they were preparing for something bigger. In the control rooms of underground bunkers, human generals and officers communicated through encrypted channels, coordinating a response. General Harris stood at the center of this operation. He watched the invasion unfold, but his mind was focused on the next step. He knew the alien fleet had been lulled into a false sense of security, believing they were unstoppable. But Harris had one final card to play: Earth's hidden fleet, waiting silently beneath the surface, ready to strike. Meanwhile, in the streets, soldiers fought bravely, doing their best to hold the line against the invaders. Their weapons were small compared to the aliens' advanced technology, but they fought with courage, knowing they were buying time for Earth's real defense to be activated. As the chaos unfolded, civilians huddled in underground shelters, listening to the sound of explosions overhead. Many were terrified, but there was also a strange sense of hope. They trusted their leaders and the military, believing that somehow Earth would find a way to survive this attack. Hours passed, and the alien fleet continued to bombard the planet. The invaders believed victory was within their grasp. They mocked the humans for their resistance, calling them primitive and foolish. The alien commander, seated on his throne in the flagship, smiled confidently. He had crushed many worlds before, and Earth would be no different. But little did the aliens know, their overconfidence would be their downfall. As the invasion raged on, a signal was sent from deep within one of Earth's military bases. This signal activated the hidden fleet, buried beneath the oceans and mountains. Slowly, giant warships began to rise from their secret locations. These ships were unlike anything humanity had shown before, sleek, powerful, and equipped with advanced technology far beyond what the aliens had anticipated. The ships remained hidden, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. General Harris watched as the alien fleet moved closer to Earth's most important cities. He knew it was time to reveal Earth's true power. "Activate the fleet," Harris said calmly. His voice echoed through the control room, and within moments, Earth's secret fleet began to rise to the surface. Above ground, the alien forces continued their attack, unaware that their greatest challenge was just beginning. As the hidden warships broke through the oceans and emerged from the mountains, they shimmered in the sunlight, ready for battle. The invasion had begun with the aliens in control, but the tide was about to turn. General Harris looked at the screen, a small smile forming on his face. The real fight was about to start, and humanity was far from finished. In just a few hours, the aliens would learn a hard lesson: never underestimate Earth, and never underestimate humanity's will to fight back. The alien ships dominated the skies, their dark, massive forms casting shadows over Earth's cities. They continued to fire, causing destruction and chaos everywhere. Civilians ran for shelter, and military forces on the ground did their best to hold the line. But it was clear, humanity's standard defenses couldn't stand against the power of the invaders. The aliens thought they had already won. Far below the surface, in secret military bases deep within the mountains and oceans, Earth's true power was waiting to be unleashed. Hidden for decades, these advanced warships were the result of years of planning and preparation. The governments of Earth had known an attack could come one day, and they had not been idle. While the world believed their technology was behind, in reality, humanity had been quietly building some of the most powerful warships in the galaxy. General Harris stood in the command center, surrounded by screens displaying the destruction above. The alien fleet thought they had already won, but they hadn't seen everything yet. Earth's hidden strength was still a secret, waiting to surprise the invaders at the right moment. The command center was buzzing with activity. Officers moved quickly, relaying orders, checking systems, and preparing for the counterattack. Harris remained calm, his sharp eyes watching every move on the screen. "Is the fleet ready?" he asked one of his officers. "Ready and waiting, sir," came the reply. The officer's voice held a sense of excitement, knowing that the time had come to strike back. "Good," Harris said. "Let them think they've won. We'll show them soon enough." Meanwhile, in the skies above, the alien commander was growing more arrogant by the minute. He had crushed countless planets before, and Earth, to him, seemed no different. His fleet's weapons were far superior, and humanity appeared weak, their defenses crumbling with every passing hour. He had no idea what was about to happen. Then, deep in the ocean, something incredible began. Huge metal structures, hidden beneath the waves for years, started to rise. These were Earth's hidden warships, massive in size and armed with the most advanced technology humans had ever created. They had been kept secret from the world, known only to a few, waiting for this exact moment. As the warships surfaced, water cascaded off their hulls, and the sun reflected off their sleek, black forms. These ships were unlike anything the aliens had seen before. Powered by advanced energy cores, armed with high-tech weapons, and protected by state-of-the-art shields, they were ready to defend Earth. From the mountains, more ships emerged. They had been hidden in massive underground bunkers, built to withstand any attack and remain unseen by the enemy. Now they flew into the sky, heading toward the alien fleet, their engines roaring with power. The alien commander noticed something strange on his scanners. His eyes narrowed as he looked at the new signals appearing all over Earth. "What is this?" he muttered, confused. As the hidden fleet rose, the human command centers lit up with activity. Communications buzzed as the ships prepared to engage. General Harris gave the order: "All units, begin the attack." Suddenly, the skies over Earth were filled with powerful human warships. They moved swiftly and with precision, cutting through the air toward the alien fleet. The aliens, caught off guard, were slow to react. They had not expected such a strong response from a planet they believed was already defeated. The first human ships fired, sending powerful energy blasts toward the alien invaders. Alien shields flared, struggling to hold against the sudden onslaught. The invaders were stunned. They had no idea Earth had such advanced technology hidden away. On the alien flagship, the commander's confidence faltered for the first time. His fleet was under attack by a force he had not anticipated. He watched as his ships began to take damage, their shields failing against the relentless human assault. "This cannot be," he whispered, shocked. But it was real. Earth's hidden fleet had been unleashed, and the battle for Earth had just taken a dramatic turn. The battle above Earth had escalated into a storm of chaos. Earth's hidden warships surged into the sky, sleek and powerful, their weapons lighting up the atmosphere with deadly precision. The alien fleet, once so confident in its victory, was now caught in the middle of a fight they hadn't prepared for. General Harris stood tall in the command center, his face illuminated by the glow of screens tracking the battle. The human fleet was striking back with full force, taking the fight to the invaders. "Stay sharp," he ordered, his voice calm but firm. "We have them on the ropes, but this isn't over." The alien commander, aboard his flagship, could not believe what he was witnessing. His fleet, which had previously devastated entire worlds with little effort, was now struggling against a force they had underestimated. He watched as one of his destroyers was hit by a direct blast from a human warship, its shield flickering and then failing entirely. The alien ship erupted in flames, breaking apart in the sky and crashing toward the ground below. "This is impossible," the alien commander shouted, his arrogance quickly turning to fear. He ordered his forces to regroup, but it was clear the humans were too fast, too well coordinated. Every time the alien ships tried to strike back, they were met with swift retaliation from the hidden human fleet. The human warships, with their advanced shields and weapons, outmaneuvered the alien fleet at every turn. Laser blasts and energy missiles shot through the air, lighting up the battlefield. Human ships darted between the alien vessels, delivering punishing strikes. One after another, the alien ships began to fall. On the ground, civilians watched the battle unfold with a mix of awe and hope. They had expected doom, but now they saw Earth fighting back in ways they had never imagined. People gathered in streets, rooftops, and parks, cheering as they witnessed the destruction of the alien ships. In the cockpit of one of the lead human warships, Captain Serena Locke gripped the controls with steady hands. Her ship had just delivered a crippling blow to an enemy cruiser, and now she set her sights on the next target. "They're retreating," she said over the comms, her voice determined. "Let's keep pushing them back." The human fleet showed no mercy. Every time the aliens tried to regroup, the humans pressed harder. The once mighty alien warships, towering and terrifying at the start of the battle, were now struggling to stay afloat. Smoke and debris filled the skies as more alien vessels were torn apart by Earth's superior firepower. The alien commander clenched his fists in frustration. His fleet was falling apart, and for the first time, he realized they were outmatched. He had underestimated humanity. Earth was not the weak, primitive world he had believed it to be. It was something far more dangerous. "Prepare the last resort," he barked to his crew. His eyes burned with desperation. If they couldn't win by brute force, he would try something else, something more devastating. But even as the alien commander prepared his next move, the human fleet wasn't slowing down. They had the advantage, and they knew it. Earth's hidden strength, now fully unleashed, was proving to be more than a match for the invaders. Back in the command center, General Harris allowed himself a small smile. The battle was turning in their favor, but he knew it wasn't time to relax yet. "We've surprised them, but they're not beaten," he said quietly. "Stay focused. This fight isn't over until the last of them is gone." The battle raged on, with Earth's warships driving the alien invaders further and further back. The tide had turned, and humanity, once seen as an easy target, was now showing the galaxy just how wrong the aliens had been. The battle for Earth had truly begun, and humanity wasn't backing down. The battle raged on, but the tide had begun to shift. Earth's hidden fleet, now fully unleashed, was pushing the alien invaders back. Smoke and fire filled the skies as human warships continued to strike at the alien fleet. It was clear the invaders hadn't expected such a fierce defense. In the command center, General Harris watched the screens closely. The human fleet was doing well, but something didn't feel right. The alien commander had been quiet for too long. Harris knew that this wasn't over. "What are they planning?" he muttered to himself. On the alien flagship, the alien commander's face was twisted with frustration. His forces were being destroyed faster than he could replace them. He had underestimated Earth's defenses, but he still had one final weapon to use. "Activate the superweapon," he ordered coldly. Deep within the alien mothership, a massive device began to power up. This was their last resort, a powerful weapon capable of destroying entire cities in a single strike. The alien commander believed it would turn the battle in their favor. He smiled grimly, knowing that the humans would never see it coming. Meanwhile, on the ground and in the skies, the battle continued. Captain Serena Locke, aboard her warship, could feel the momentum shifting. The alien ships were retreating, their formation breaking apart. "We've got them on the run," she said over the comms. "Let's keep up the pressure." But as the humans celebrated their apparent victory, something changed. A massive energy pulse shot out from the alien flagship, heading straight for Earth's largest city. The sky darkened as the superweapon unleashed its terrifying power. Panic swept through the human forces. In the command center, alarms blared. General Harris' eyes widened as he saw the superweapon on the screen. "They're targeting the city," he said urgently. "All units, prepare for emergency defense. We have to stop that blast." The human fleet sprang into action, racing to intercept the deadly energy wave. Earth's warships fired everything they had at the incoming threat, but the pulse was too strong, too fast. It seemed unstoppable. Captain Locke gritted her teeth, pushing her ship to its limits. She knew if the blast hit the city, millions of lives would be lost. "We can't let it reach the ground," she shouted. Her crew worked frantically, targeting the energy pulse with every weapon they had. As the energy wave moved closer and closer to Earth, it looked like all hope was lost. But just when it seemed like the city would be destroyed, a new signal appeared on the scanners. From deep within Earth's hidden bases, another secret was revealed: an experimental defense system, long kept in reserve, designed specifically for this kind of attack. "Activate the Omega Shield," General Harris ordered. His voice was steady, but everyone in the command center could feel the tension. This was Earth's last line of defense. The Omega Shield, a massive energy barrier, powered up in the nick of time. As the alien superweapon's blast hit the shield, the sky lit up with a brilliant flash of light. The force of the explosion shook the ground, but the shield held. For a moment, there was silence. Then cheers erupted across the human forces. The city was saved, and the alien commander's greatest weapon had failed. On the alien flagship, the commander slammed his fist down in anger. He had thrown everything he had at Earth, and still, the humans stood strong. His fleet was crumbling, his weapons were failing, and now he realized that the battle was truly lost. Back in the command center, General Harris breathed a sigh of relief. The superweapon had been stopped, but the battle wasn't over yet. "All units," he said over the comms, "prepare for the final push. It's time to end this." Earth had reached the turning point. With the alien fleet on the verge of collapse, humanity was ready to claim victory. The battlefield above Earth was now a scene of chaos and destruction. Alien warships, once feared across the galaxy, were falling one by one. Flames and debris filled the sky as Earth's hidden fleet delivered devastating blows to the invaders. But the fight wasn't over yet. There was one final move to be made. General Harris stood in the command center, his eyes fixed on the screen showing the alien flagship. It was still operational, but barely. The alien commander had used everything in his arsenal, but Earth's defenses had held strong. Now it was time to end this once and for all. "Prepare all remaining warships for the final assault," Harris ordered. "We can't let them escape." Captain Serena Locke, aboard her warship, received the order and prepared her crew for what was to come. "This is it," she said, her voice steady. "We're going to finish this." The human fleet regrouped, positioning themselves for the final strike. The alien ships, weakened and scattered, were trying to retreat, but there was no escape. Earth's warships closed in, surrounding the alien fleet and cutting off any hope of survival. Inside the alien flagship, the commander's face was twisted with rage and desperation. His fleet was in ruins, his superweapon had failed, and now the humans were closing in on him. He had never imagined Earth would be so powerful, so resilient. "We can't be defeated by these primitives," he shouted at his crew, but deep down he knew the truth. They had lost. Outside the flagship, the human warships prepared to fire. Captain Locke's ship led the charge, her crew ready to deliver the final blow. "Target the flagship's core," she commanded. "Let's end this." As the human warships locked onto the alien flagship, the alien commander made one last desperate attempt. "Activate emergency jump drive," he ordered, hoping to escape and regroup. But it was too late. The human fleet had already surrounded him, and there was no way out. "Fire." Captain Locke gave the final command, and Earth's warships unleashed a barrage of energy blasts. The alien flagship's shields flickered and collapsed under the assault. Explosions tore through the ship as its core was hit, sending shockwaves through the sky. The alien flagship erupted in a massive explosion, lighting up the entire battlefield. The remaining alien ships, seeing their leader's destruction, fell into complete disarray. With no command, they were helpless against Earth's warships. General Harris watched as the alien fleet crumbled before his eyes. The battle was over. Humanity had won. "All units, stand down," Harris said, his voice calm but filled with pride. "The battle is won." On the ground, people began to cheer. Across cities and towns, civilians watched the skies as the alien ships were destroyed, one after another. What had started as a day of fear and destruction had turned into a day of victory. Humanity had not only survived the invasion, but they had triumphed. In the command center, Harris allowed himself a small smile. They had prepared for this day, but even he had been surprised by the strength and courage of humanity. They had faced an enemy far more powerful than any they had ever known, and they had emerged victorious. On board her warship, Captain Locke leaned back in her seat, a wave of relief washing over her. "We did it," she whispered to herself. Her crew cheered around her, celebrating the victory they had fought so hard for. The alien fleet was gone, and Earth stood strong. What the invaders had thought would be an easy victory had turned into their greatest defeat. Humanity had delivered the final blow, and now, the galaxy would know, Earth was not to be underestimated.